What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing one of the most requested rebuilds that I've seen since the beginning of Madden 22, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers, a squad that is at a crossroads, if you will. They're competitive enough to be a playoff contender, but if they don't make the playoffs this year or in year one, they're a very old roster. What is life like for the Pittsburgh Steelers once Big Ben Roethlisberger decides to hang it up? Is it Dwayne Haskins' job? Are we going to have to look through the draft? I mean, you look at the other positions, they got some exciting young players for sure. Claypool, you got, Najee. But like some of the premier and most of the premier players are on the wrong side of 30. You got Cam Hayward here, who's an absolute beast on the defensive end. 94 is kind of old. Alu, kind of old. Melvin Ingram, Joe Hayden, kind of old. So we will preview that roster a little bit in depth here. But before we do that, I have a sponsor for today's video. Today's video is sponsored by MyBookie. We get scripts. I'm going to read the script here. I'm a diehard UFC fan. I love UFC. Nick Diaz is actually my favorite fighter of all time, and he's fighting this weekend. And MyBookie has a very unique promotion, which I'm going to highlight here, which sounds like fairly easy money. So if you enjoy the UFC, you'll probably like this. So this Saturday, there will be blood. Head to mybookie.ag and get in on the UFC First Blood promotion. When any fighter on the main card bleeds, you win. The second you see blood, you get paid. With this bet set at around 5 main card bouts, including 2 title fights, you know the octagon won't stay dry for long. So take advantage of this opportunity to make some easy money with MyBookie. They got like a hepatitis C parlay. If 5 guys bleed, you get extra money. I don't know. But Nick Diaz has bled in 3 of his last 4 fights, and Robbie Lawler is a leaky faucet. So by the end of this 5-round rematch, blood will be spilled. Head to MyBookie now and use my promo code C4 to start off with a double deposit bonus. That's promo code C4 to double your money so you can double your winnings with MyBookie. That's it. I got it through it. You know how many takes that took? And that's not all. If you deposit now, you also get free entry into MyBookie's $50,000 NFL Survivor Pool. That's double deposit bonus, free money on UFC, and a free shot at $50K. That's what I call winning season. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
And to my right, he's a freestyle wrestling champion.
I love the people at MyBookie. Anyone that supports my channel, I'm a fan of. But that was... like when that script came across, I was like, really? I mean, I'll do anything. God bless them. God bless them. Let's look at this roster. Pittsburgh Steelers. So we talked about the quarterback spot. Ben Roethlisberger. I like Big Ben. I have a Ben Roethlisberger jersey. Did you know that? Did you know that? But it's the end. You could even, it's the end, right? There's just no other way to cut it. I guess Dwayne Haskins did look pretty good during the preseason. Maybe we try it for a year. Like after this, we'll just see, can Dwayne Haskins operate? I mean, I'm pretty sure the Pittsburgh Steelers have a favorable sim offense. I actually kind of want to see maybe if we give Dwayne Haskins a year. Can he at least get a star dev trait, get that ball rolling? He's only 24, but ultimately that is really the first big hurdle in this rebuild is just what the hell do we do after Ben Roethlisberger retires? Because, I mean, even that being said, I don't know if we can even win with Ben Roethlisberger. Is he good enough to win in the sim in Madden? I don't know. At running back, we have pink slip superstar Najee Harris, 77. Not going to spoil the dev trade if you don't know what it is, but I am expecting him to be one of these stars of this rebuild. Beyond that, they have solid running backs, Benny Snell, Kalen Balazs, Anthony McFarland, but it is going to be the Najee show. Derek Watt at fullback, sure. Looking at the wide receivers, I got Juju Smith-Schuster here, 84 star dev. Now, never really been a fan of him, even though there was a point in time he was a potential channel legend when he was Juju Smith-Kelly. Then there was reports that he turned down more money from the Philadelphia Eagles to go back to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which made me a little upset, even though I don't necessarily know if we need to Juju. But for this rebuild, and I'm going to be just purely focused, not on the outside noise, but what can help the Pittsburgh Steelers achieve what we need to do. He is most likely going to be a pretty big part of this squad. We have Deante Johnson, who's one of the better route runners in the NFL, 81 star. You throw in the Canadian Dream, Chase Claypool, 78 star. You have 3 wide receivers that are going to be pretty goddamn dangerous. James Washington, I'm actually going to throw him up in the trade block, see if there's something we can do there. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really even know what positions we want to try to look for. I don't know. We're not. Let's just focus on the roster now. But we will try to change and find a good trade partner with James Washington. Just try to, change the wide receiver room up a little bit. Maybe, we have so much assets here at wide receiver. Can we shuffle those along? Maybe the offensive line, because that is not great by any means. We have Eric Ebron at tight end, 82 star. He's 28, still serviceable, but Pat Freiermuth was an excellent selection in the 2021 draft. 71 normal. A lot of people were surprised that he only got a normal dev trait, but I do think long-term he could be our tight end one. Two-headed attack here with Ebron, but as soon as Ebron's contract comes up, I think we could probably rock and roll with Freiermuth as a tight end one. Offensive line is just not good. You have Chuck Secor, Dan Moore Jr. I mean, the youth aspect is intriguing, but there's no real dev traits. There's no real upside right now. Left tackle, I'm worried about. Left guard, Dotson's not so bad, 71 with that star dev, so we can use that for sure, but it's still going to be a long grind to get him up to being a good guard. They have Kendrick Green, the center out of Illinois, 66 normal. That's definitely not Marquise Pouncey. You have at right guard Trey Turner, who in his the one Steeler game I watched against the Raiders last week, he just spit on a guy and got ejected. From a Madden standpoint, he's serviceable, 79 with that star dev, but I don't know necessarily how much of a long-term option he can be considered. And then at right tackle, you have a fan favorite, but the reality is he's not that great. From a Madden standpoint, Zach Banner. We debatably, outside of, you could probably get by with these guards. We need help. So if we can flip James Washington in particular for someone that's an upgrade here on the offensive line, I think we're going to have to do it. Defensively, Steelers are on point. You have Stephon Tuitt at defensive end, 90 overall with the boost, star dev, 28, little bit old for a 5-year rebuild, but I don't think I'm really that worried about it. I think he's a guy we can ride into the ground. You have right defensive end, Cam Hayward, the veteran, the superstar dev, 94. 32 though, I'm probably going to try to hold on to him until he retires. So you got to figure we get at least 2-3 years out of him. So he should be here for the majority of the time, but we do need to kind of plan maybe year 2, year 3, depending on how the draft board looks at maybe drafting his successor. And luckily, a lot of defensive tackles that end up getting first-round grades are in the draft, so I'm not overly worried about that. D-tackle, another veteran here, Alualu, who's probably pulled one of the better career turnarounds. Kind of was drafted in the first round, a little bit of a bust. Then he went to Pittsburgh, was really good, left Pittsburgh, came back to Pittsburgh. So he's solid. He's one of those guys kind of aged like a fine wine. And he's solid for the time being, serviceable, but he's 34, so not great depth behind him, man. A lot of work needs to get done here with the Steelers. TJ Watt does not need a lot of work, though. 94 superstar X Factor, and he still kind of feels like he's slightly underrated in the NFL. I'm a big fan of him. That's still, I think I still have that video up here. My draft reaction to the Pittsburgh Steelers drafting TJ Watt, and most of the comments were unhappy Steeler fans. I was like, this is a good pick. This is one of the few times that I like to pick that the fan base, at least from my YouTube channel, did not agree with. And I always thought that was a great pick, and I'm glad that he is really, really developed. Middle linebacker, solid. You got Joe Schobert here, 78 star dev, 27, getting up there a little bit. Don't necessarily know what his ceiling's going to be, but Devin Bush should be really good for us, 78 with that star dev. You got Spillane, who's actually kind of solid. Every time I watch Pittsburgh's play, that guy's generally pretty good. Rest of the the linebacker room's not the best, but you only need 2, right? You only need 2 to be serviceable. You have the veteran, Melvin Ingram, 87 at 32. Sure, I'm a little annoyed that he's going to be eating into the reps for Highsmith, because with that dev trade, I might actually want to get, maybe Ingram could be a guy we throw in a trade. I don't think we're winning this year, so I think it's going to be better long-term to get Highsmith on the field sooner than later to start maximizing that XP. So I think Ingram and James Washington right now, if I can package, those 2 dudes. Actually, we're not going to make him team captain. We'll throw him in the trade block. If I can package one of those 2 dudes, maybe each one of them, and get an offensive lineman in return, that's definitely one I'm going to kind of look at. You have the veteran Joe Hayden. I'm not going to, just out of Florida Gator respect, I'm not going to get rid of him. He's really solid. You have Sutton. Anyone have a dev trade here? Sutton's normal. Witherspoon, normal. Ugh. Justin Lane, normal. Man, this Pierre guy's actually been pretty damn good when the one game that I did watch. I was kind of impressed with him, but ultimately, yeah, another room that there's just not a whole lot of upside, not a lot of S-tier prospects. So I do think the corner room is something else that we're going to have to address sooner than later. You got Minkah Fitzpatrick, outstanding. It will be a staple of this rebuild, staple of this defense, 88, superstar, absolute ball hawk. Glad to have him on the squad. Strong safety, we have Terrell Edmonds, a guy that we're going to have to hope to try and develop. 24-77 with the normal dev, but I think because he's starting and safeties tend to get dev trait scenarios, I think we can get him up to a star and make him, much like Minkah, like a good 1-2 combo for the majority of this rebuild. Special teams, Boswell is solid. You got Presley Harvin, who was the MVP of the Eagles-Steelers preseason game this year. So we got that there. Ultimately, though, a lot of work here needs to get done for the Steelers rebuild. But first things first, before we get into year one, I'm going to see with Melvin Ingram and James Washington if we can kind of move some of those guys around and try to improve this offensive line before the season starts so we don't get Ben Roethlisberger killed and or help Najee Harris have a great rookie season. So here's a trade that, makes a kind of a lot of sense for us anyways. Melvin Ingram, don't need him. He's good, 87 from a player-per-player perspective. It seems very one-sided, but they just signed him off the street, and I still think Highsmith is the better play for this rebuild. So we sent Ingram and a 6th-round pick to get Ben Bartch, who's a 65 star dev guard from the Jags, who was on the trade block, and a 3rd-round pick. But Ben Bartch is 6'6", so I'm going to slide him to one of our tackle spots and kind of make it work. Netain Muti was there. He's also a star dev guard, but, we're kind of good at guard between Trey Turner and Kevin Dotson. So I was like, all right, Muti, he's only 6'3", doesn't make any sort of sense or plausibility that you could kick him to guard. So we are just going to rock with Ben Bartch for now. And here again, literally the only other tackle that I think had any potential trade interest to me was Austin Jackson of the Miami Dolphins, because they traded for Greg Little. So that there kind of put Austin Jackson from a Madden standpoint to left tackle 2. Has the star dev, if you've seen him in pink slips. Did not think I would be able to get just straight value, but I was able to send James Washington to the Miami Dolphins for Austin Jackson, 65 star dev tackle. So the overall still kind of suck, but at least we now have dev traits and we're able to trade away the 2 players that I kind of deem surplus requirement. Now, let's get into year number 1. So we're at the midway point of year 1, better than expected, especially beating the Browns. They're like always going to the playoffs. 4-3, not. You feel good with the 4-3 because I thought it could be really bad, and then you still look, man. The Browns 6-2, but we just beat them, so maybe we can, finish this season out on a hot streak. But the Ravens undefeated, they're looking pretty good at this point. My scouting and stuff, handling business. We got a couple quarterbacks that look good. I'm going to start working my way into the secondary. But we got to look at some contracts. First up, we have Juju Smith-Schuster, who I think just from an age standpoint, 24, already has the dev trait, 4-year deal. Seems very reasonable. Eric Ebron, a little less so because he wants that 4-year deal. There's no way. He's like 83 is his peak. He's only going to regress from here on out. The fact that we got Freiermuth, I think we just kind of go there, maybe bank on him potentially getting a dev trait. I think Joe Hayden, we're the 1-year deal. If we didn't sign him and we can't draft a corner, he's probably still going to be one of the top corners on the market. So might as well just kind of keep him in-house right away. I think a 2-year deal is probably the only kind of way, he likes the duration good. The only way I would even consider signing Trey Turner is only on that 2-year deal. I don't really want him after 30. Has that dev trait, so I definitely will come back to the table with him. Maybe give him, $14 million should be enough to get him to sign the dotted line. Honestly, I think the rest of these guys, the thing that I have for Edmonds is like I could see him just at the end of the year being one of those guys that just gets a random dev trait. So I think he'll be worth giving a contract extension. That's actually not bad at all over 4 years, but for the rest of these guys, most of those guys are death, but Ben Roethlisberger, Eric Ebron, we're going to try to get younger. Actually, oddly enough, we're going to do this a lot. I just talked about Terrell Edmonds just got his dev traits in there. So let's see if we can actually hit that here against the 4-4 Chicago Bears. Plenty of opportunities for him to get tackles. Let's see if he's just going to cost me some more money. Oh, he actually didn't achieve it. So therefore, he should cost me less money. I think that's almost how that works. We got work 31-13. Let's go back to the contracts here just real quick. So Trey Turner wants a little bit more bucks. We'll give him that. Something like that. 14.1 should be good, which it is. And then we have Edmonds, and we'll just bump it up a couple notches. Something like that. 17.8, just under 18 million bucks. Got him locked up. Let's finish out this year. I had to do a quick hat change. Actually, I woke up, I went to bed, and then I woke up, and I felt like, I got a yellow hat. It's a yellow team. Let's look at the end of year 1. As you can look here, just for my team ranks, I appreciate the defensive points per game there. We came number 6 in the league, but the offense was absolute butt cheeks. We finished the season 7-10, which, just confirms that, team's not good enough. We're going to have to change it. Have to get into an all-out rebuild. Looking around the NFL, 52 touchdowns for Mahomes is kind of disgusting. 3 running backs, over 20 rushing touchdowns. Danny Amendola, who's retired. It wasn't even in the game, I don't think, when I did my first rebuild. 101 catches, 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. Awesome. Well, let's more so look at our stats what on here. I did make a late in the season a quarterback switch just to see what Dwayne Haskins had. 2,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, 5 picks. Ben Roethlisberger, 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Only 3 picks for Dwayne Haskins. That's interesting, for sure. Very interesting. Running the ball, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns for the rookie Najee Harris. We have, okay, I'll take that as a Canadian. 65 catches, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns for Claypool. Leading the team, almost 900 yards, 5 touchdowns for Juju. 7-4 for Najee, 650-4 for Johnson. 5-5 for Eric Ebron, and almost 500 yards for Pat Freiermuth. Really, I mean, when you throw that in with Najee Harris, almost 700 yards, that's a really good rookie season. He might got Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensively, Joe Schobert tied. That's very rare you see that. 2 middle linebackers both tied with their total season tackles. We had 11 sacks, Cam Hayward, 9 for Stephon Tuitt, 9 for Highsmith, 7.5 for Alualu. I don't know what's going on with TJ Watt. But I will say Highsmith getting 9 sacks kind of makes me feel better about the Melvin Ingram trade. Because, you know, he needs these reps. 3 interceptions for Edmonds. Got himself a brand new contract. Not nearly enough turnovers in the secondary. Good to know as we go into the offseason. Kind of how to prioritize what positions we need to go for. McCaffrey on the 6-win Panthers is the league MVP. Okay. More so for individual awards. We got Najee Harris winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Which is pretty good. The Canadian Javon Holland, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Happy with that from a neutral standpoint. But that's about it, man. Was not a great season. And really the only thing that I would say is kind of interesting is like that. I'm not going to forget about that Dwayne Haskins stat line. And I started this rebuild by saying, like, do we give Dwayne Haskins a legitimate chance? And I think I saw enough there that maybe don't reach for a quarterback. I mean, I've done some scouting. I had a couple first-round QBs. I don't know if they were early first-round quarterbacks. So we have a bunch of first-round graded quarterbacks, but they're all late first-round. Maybe we tried to build the team up and give Dwayne Haskins at least 1 year, and then if things suck, we can draft a quarterback next year. But let's get into the offseason first, kind of see how that all plays out. Quick season recap time. I like seeing interesting teams in the Super Bowl. And we have the Denver Broncos, 28-24. Over the New Orleans Saints, Teddy Bridgewater getting a Super Bowl MVP. Okay, I've seen weirder results, and I like seeing that. As long as it's not, you know, the familiar faces, anytime it's something different, I like that for the playoff push. Let's see if we have any dev traits as we go up into the offseason here. Nothing on the offensive side of the ball, but both Jackson and Ben Barch are up to a 70, so they both gain +5. Happy with those traits. Happy that that seems to be working. Defensively, no. Cam Hayward get an X Factor. I think that's new. Tuitt was a star. Now he's a superstar. But other than that, I mean, hey, you know, other than that, we've got 2 dev traits. Could be a lot worse. Maybe even 3. Was Alualu normal? Feel like he was, even though he had big time regression here. Front 3 got some love from the sim. So for our free agency period, actually, he was so far down the list, I didn't know he was in his contract here. But we got Dwayne Haskins. We're gonna, you know, we'll throw money back at him. J.C. Jackson, he's always there in free agency, but the fact that he's a scheme fit, and we really do need pretty much to change up the whole corner room. Even Sutton at 27, that normal dev, just staring us right in the face. I will say, just full disclosure, I was a little interested about a certain quarterback here, and it was not Dwayne Haskins. Kyle Trask is sitting there, and I'm a Gator fan, and he's overall point higher and a year younger, but I just feel like I don't know. I highly doubt Kyle Trask would actually get released here in year 1. I mean, you still got Rose in there, 67, 25, man. Chosen Rose. No, for the sake of the video, because Steeler fans, you actually have Dwayne Haskins in real life, I'll give Dwayne Haskins the first opportunity. Other than that, I'm like none of these other QB. I don't care about Trubisky, Mariota, Jameis Winston. Absolutely not this idiot. And I say idiot 100% just because of what he does in Madden. Off the field, whatever, man. But, like, can we get a roster? Just shave off 10 points. Make him in the 60s so, like, teams have to, like, debatably and pick and choose if they want to sign Colin Kaepernick. Not just have him get signed and, for whatever reason, start over half the quarterbacks in the league. Oh, it's so annoying. But pretty good news here. For free agency, getting both Dwayne Haskins Jr. and J.C. Jackson. And good to know. Hey, the Miami Dolphins are going to be winning the Super Bowl, or going deep playoff runs here for the next couple years. So for our first pick in this Pittsburgh Steelers, this is a little tough. There's 2 guys that I really want that I know I'm going to have to overdraft. We have Robbie Wood at quarterback. At least he's getting a first-round grade, and he's projected to go in the 4th round. And then we also have a center, which is the weak link on the offensive line, early first-round grade center in the 3rd round. So, like, in a perfect world, we'll be able to get Kirkland around early in the 2nd. We'll be able to get Robbie Wood around early in the 3rd. But what do we do for that first pick? We have a couple mid-first round wide receivers. We have this guy, Rashad Page, early first-round talent at wide receiver. Feel like we have 3 good guys for the most part, right? We don't need to pull the trigger there. We have Cortez King, a defensive end, mid-first rounder, 6'3", 290, so a perfect scheme fit. We have Mahone, another 2nd rounder, getting mid-first round. Like, there's so much value. And you look here, we got a 7th round projected pick with a 2nd round talent that is also a scheme fit. So I feel like we could probably go there on the defensive line. And then you flip it to the secondary where it's like, pick your choice of what do you want for an early first round player. We got a guy that's 5'10", we got a guy that's 6'2". I'm thinking we grab this corner. We'll grab the guy. Oh man, the 7'5" combine grade is I'm so interested with that. 5'10", 184. Does height, weight really play anything into Madden Sim? Like, this guy looks like the safer bet. The skills aren't as good though. You know, you're kind of banking. What's this guy? Grimes. He's a mid-first. Oh, that's a tough one. Let's see. I'll grab corner first. Who's the highest rated corner? We'll grab the highest rated on the big board. Maybe that's the better player. It is Baxter. Oh no. I feel like we gotta go this guy. I feel like this is the guy that we want. Man, C4, use your stat. You need 3 cone, 20-yard, and the 40. I mean, the 3 cone, the 20 looks good. The 40 is a little bit slow. No, screw it. We go with the, we didn't tell. Let's go high combine. Matt Baxter, 77 hidden. Number 7 in true value, getting him at 12. 93 speed, 97 acceleration, 92 agility, 88 jumping. Let's be honest. Height and stuff like that doesn't really matter in Madden, but I definitely want to go check out that other corner when we're looking at the draft recap, just to make sure we made the right pick. So for our first pick in this Pittsburgh Steelers, this is a little tough. There's 2 guys that I really want that I know I'm going to have to overdraft. We have Robbie Wood at quarterback. At least he's getting a first-round grade, and he's projected to go in the 4th round. And then we also have a center, which is the weak link on the offensive line, early first-round grade center in the 3rd round. So, like, in a perfect world, we'll be able to get Kirkland around early in the 2nd. We'll be able to get Robbie Wood around early in the 3rd. But what do we... All right, we got our next 2 picks still at the top of our board. Seem like the obvious selections. So first, we're going to grab Elton Kirkland, early first-round grade center of Ohio State. 76 hidden dev, number 8 in true value, getting him at 44. He looks pretty damn good. And now I'm almost a little bit worried trying to wait and see on that quarterback. Maybe we try to trade up back into the 2nd round package, like our 3rd or 4th round pick, to make sure we can grab that QB. I think that's probably going to be the best course of action. And I already know we're going to draft that quarterback, and he's going to be way better than Dwayne Haskins, but I promise we'll give Dwayne Haskins at least halfway through year 2 as our starting quarterback if we can land that guy. All right, so I was able to trade. I had to sim a couple more picks, but I was able to trade back up to the 2nd round, sending our 3rd, 4th, and 7th to the Buffalo Bills. We actually had 2 third-round picks, so we still are going to have that 2nd round selection. And now this still staying right in the 3rd round. So we'll be able to get some good players, but just the rest of the draft is essentially over after that. But we are able to grab the QB. I mean, I'm not expecting anything amazing from this quarterback, to be completely honest with you. But could be something okay. Robbie Wood from Boston College coming in to compete with Dwayne. Oh, and he got the depth trait, baby. 74 hidden dev, number 27 in true value, getting him at 52, 93 throw power. 80 accuracy, 85 throw on the run, 81 break. And he got some wheels on him. 91 change of direction, 89 acceleration, 81 speed, 87 agility. Let's go, Robbie Wood. QB2, though, for at least the first 8 games. So happy with the poll. We got all 3 players that we wanted to walk away with from this draft. And Baxter, 77 hidden dev. We got Kirkland on the O-line, 76 hidden dev quarterback. And the rest of my picks, I get a 72 defensive end. That's actually a scheme fit, only normal, but I'll take that. And then I just grabbed a wide receiver. But I really want to see that other corner. I want to make sure we made the right call. I think his name is Newton. Let's see what his rating is. Mr. Newton. There we go. Deante Newton, 77. The same rating. And he does have a hidden dev. Hopefully it's star. As long as it's star, there's no harm, no foul. But then if there's anything better than a star dev trait, Pressure is on. Fuck. Okay, so he's a superstar. Pressure is on for Baxter to also be a superstar. My hopes are very slim. But I will say, out of the 3 hidden depth players we got, well, we know the center is going to be star. I think between the corner and the quarterback, one of those guys got to be a superstar. All right, so here's our squad for year 2. Originally, I said I was going to give Dwayne Haskins half the season. I think we're going to have to do something a little bit more. I just feel like if this guy's good. I don't know if I want to already give him, that short of a head start on getting good XP and stuff. I'm going to give Dwayne Haskins the first 3 games. If we can win 2 of the first 3, we'll keep on going. If we're 0-3, 1-2, something like that, we'll make the switch to Wood. Other than that, everything else remains essentially the same. We have Kirkland now starting at center. Very happy with that selection. Frymouth gets his opportunity as tight end 1. Hopefully he gets a dev trait coming his way sooner than later. Defensive side of the ball, front 3 looks strong. We have J.C. Jackson, our big free agency signing. We have Baxter, our big draft pick, is going to be our starting slot. Minka, you have Highsmith, Schobert, Bush, Watt. Need Watt to for sure have a bigger season. This is a guy that's getting paid like he should be getting double-digit sacks. So we need him to be getting double-digit sacks. And, that's the rest of the squad there. Feeling okay. Let's just do it live. Let's see right now. What happens with Dwayne Haskins. Giving him 3 games. First game of the year, loses in a shootout. Okay. Not a terrible performance. Week 2 against the Dolphins. And 1-1. Has a chance. We got a breakout scenario here. It's probably going to be bugged as hell. It's for Najee Harris, looking to go up to a superstar, so he's almost certainly going to hit this. Hitting it, you know what I'm saying? But week 3, Dwayne Haskins, if he can beat the Buffalo Bills, he will be our starter at least till midseason. If he loses, it's a 1-point loss. I feel a little harsh right here if I benched him. Okay, I'll give him Baltimore. You can beat the Ravens. You can put us second in the division. You can hold your job. If not, we're going Wood. Okay. At least I don't feel as dirty about this, right? At least I see that. And we feel fairly confident we could go with the QB. Also, where's my scouting? I must have turned the scouting off late last season. I got to pop that back on because I got to scout, especially on the defensive line. We got to get a lot younger. But, all right, 1-3. Let's see what the rookie QB can do. All right, so about midway point, we just gave up 52 points to the Cleveland Browns, which I don't necessarily think is a fault of our quarterback, but we are bottom dwellers in the AFC North. Growing pains with the quarterback. You look at our team roster, though. Still good. Should be better than 3-7. Contracts for year 2. Minka Fitzpatrick, absolutely. Get him locked up. Franchise player on the back end of the defense. We have Stephon Tuitt. I would say need to get younger, but the fact that it's only a 2-year deal, very reasonable. Shouldn't really regress too much. I think we pretty much have committed to the wide receiver attack that we have with Johnson, Juju, and Chase Claypool, so we'll keep them all together. I think Devin Bush, while slightly underwhelming from a Madden development standpoint, maybe even in real life, man. I feel like hype has kind of squandered. Is that a word? That's a word, right? Around Devin Bush. Seemed to be like the next big thing, and now he's just kind of a guy that could be good at some point. For the rest of the team, not overly worried. I mean, someone like Sutton could be a solid corner 3, but I don't know. I feel like we might be able to hit better on the open market potentially, or just draft someone that's a little bit better and a lot cheaper. So we'll do that. So year 2 is finished, and literally, if you look at the My Team rankings, our team switched. We went from one of the worst offensive point per games and a top 5 defense to a top 5 offense and the number 30 ranked defense. I don't know what we did defensively, who we lost defensively to have that just turnaround of suck. Thought we only got better on the defense. We only added J.C. Jackson, but defense kind of let us down. Our offense was on point with the rookie quarterback. Happy seeing that. Big picture for the NFL. Not seeing anything too crazy. Jalen Hurts up there. Top 3 quarterbacks and passing leaders. 24 sacks, Tank Lawrence, 7 picks, J.C. Jackson on our squad. That looks great, leading the league in interceptions. Hopefully that helps him go up a dev trait. But let's look at the rest of the stats here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In year 2, Robbie Woods. So he did not play the entirety of the season, but he came in 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, 18 picks. As you can see, Dwayne Haskins was not particularly good in his starts. We did give him an honest-to-God chance at taking the starting quarterback spot by the reins and running with it. And he couldn't do it. He fumbled it. And Robbie Wood, I mean, you got to figure what? He missed 5 or 6 games. You throw that 5 or 6 games, we're getting about at least 30 touchdowns, which is pretty good. Just definitely need to cut down on the interceptions a bit. 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns for Najee Harris. Outstanding. From a receiving standpoint, 65 catches, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns for Claypool, 1,005 for Juju, 8-5 Johnson, 7-5 for Freiermuth, 5-5-5-5 for Najee Harris. So Harris, outstanding, 2,000 yards from scrimmage, almost 30 touchdowns on the year. Devin Bush, over 100 tackles. We have on the sacks front, it's just not good enough, man. What is going on with TJ Watt? Do I need to make him a right outside linebacker? Is that what's going on? Sim stats aren't good enough. And then we have the league leader in interceptions here in J.C. Jackson, our big free agency signing from last year, paying immediate dividends. Very happy with that, as well as 95 total tackles. Yearly Awards MVP went to Ezekiel Elliott. Najee Harris coming in at number 5. So good knowing that we got that in our wheelhouse. He's actually runner-up for Offensive Player of the Year in the AFC. Offensive Rookie there with a Nolan Foote, with Wood coming in at number 2. Najee Harris is running back 1. Maybe helps him out with the dev trade. Maybe he's on a superstar. J.C. Jackson, best DB. So I'm actually going to be kind of excited to get to the end of the season and see what kind of dev trade scenarios we may have in store. But fortunately, there's no playoff run. Our team just wasn't good enough. Season recap, the Seattle Seahawks get revenge against the New England Patriots 38-16 with Jamal Adams winning Super Bowl MVP. Well, let's just go and look at what we all really care about at this given point. That is our squad. Any dev traits. On the offense side, I'm looking Najee to go up X Factor. He did, which is huge. Najee Harris up to a 93 superstar X Factor. We got the Truz ability. Don't think so. Give you a wrecking ball because you're freaking Najee Harris. What about hurdle? Is he a big hurdle? I'm going to give him armbar. He's a power back. Let's give him some power back abilities. Is that just randomized? It does feel like they're just randomized to a certain degree. Wood had the hidden dev, it's star. Kirkland had the hidden dev, it's star. A little bit scared to look at that corner because remember we passed on the corner that had superstar. And our corner, Baxter, fucking it's a star. God damn it. I mean, I guess J.C. Jackson going up to a superstar. We still have a superstar corner, which helps. But knowing that, we made a good pick, but not the great pick. It always kind of pisses me off a little bit. But is what it is, I guess. You see... Maybe the tiebreaker for now. Next time we ever get in a scenario, we have 2 early first-round guys. Go with the guy with the lower combine grade. Maybe the lower combine grades tend to have the better dev traits. That's the trade-off. But Baxter's still solid, 81 star. I'm not too upset about that. But I am upset that we are going into year 3 without a playoff victory. Hopefully that changes this offseason. It's never a good free agency period when you have $54 million and the only guy. I mean, I love seeing Scary Terry there. We just don't need a wide receiver. And then everyone else is just really old. Like, if you need a wide receiver, it's a great year. If you did not, you're going to end up just signing a star dev kicker. I'll be honest with you, too. The draft doesn't look a whole lot better. If you need a wide receiver, it looks pretty good. Literally, good. 6'5", 225, 4'5". We have this guy. There's one guy that's really, really making it tough for me just to not ignore it. We got a 7'7" combine grade. Like the wide receivers here are absolutely cracked. But look at this guy. Darryl Brown, he's pretty much Josh Gordon. Didn't attend the combine, early first-round grade wide receiver, but I absolutely don't need one. Johnson, Juju, all those guys are at the perfect age. That's just stupid. Like, one of those guys could be wide receiver 4. They all have contracts. I need a new D tackle. I'm going to draft for need over 1. I'm going to come back to that player. Mark it down. We are going to look at what Darryl Brown... And if he's still there in the second round, by any chance, I'll take a flyer on the second round. But our first pick, got to go towards, replacing Tyson Alualu. We have 2 mid-round D tackles. This guy actually looks really good in Hayden. 300 pounds, though, not really a nose tackle. This guy here can at least kind of, sell for a nose tackle with the size. But I'm really intrigued by the skill set here. Yeah, screw it. We'll draft for realism. We'll get the nose tackle. Damian Powers, number 10 in True Value, 76. Hidden dev looks pretty good. So for the draft recap, kind of, if you view our quiet free agency was more so a victim of the players that were available, not so much our aggressiveness. And then this draft where we got a great D tackle for sure. He's not happy to be here, but Alabama pretty much can't miss player. That's gonna plug and play day 1 started. Then I got a 72 normal strong safety, 69 tight end normal. All these guys are normal. 73 D tackle, 70, 66, 65. solid players, but it's not like we hit an absolute home run of a draft. I do want to take a peek, though, at 2 players. One is the D-tackle Hayden. He's pretty much the guy that we picked Powers over. He's 75. Powers is 76. Hayden is only a normal depth, so we made the right selection there, the D-tackle, so kind of breaking even a little bit from last year. And then we have the wide receiver. Just the guy that was the freak, Darryl Brown. 79, didn't attend the combine, 6'5", 230, 93 speed, 90 acceleration, 85 catching, 87 catching traffic, 96. He's Calvin Johnson. If this guy has a superstar or superstar X factor, he's the greatest wide receiver. He's probably the best player I've seen in a draft. I mean, it just absolutely made no sense for this rebuild to make that pick. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we could say, in terms of freaks, this is the freakiest draft prospect we've seen so far in Madden 22. Didn't attend the combine, early first round, 6'5", oh man. Fuck, that guy's good. Here are your Steelers for year number 3. Offensive line all remains intact. Solid O-line, all silvers across the board. Happy that we made the trades for Barch and Jackson. I think I could see year 4, year 5 when we're really trying to make that Super push. They'll be in the low 80s, and that is more than serviceable enough. Frymouth, not developing really that great, but I guess it's, we're rocking on default sliders and stuff like that. And when you're a normal depth trade guy, kind of is what it is. Big year here for Robbie Wood. Got his feet wet last season. Way too many turnovers. Needs to cut down on that to prove that he could be the QB of the future here. Obviously, things run through Najee Harris, superstar X Factor. I'm a little bit bothered that I didn't draft that wide receiver. Knew that wide receiver is going to be good. Incredibly enticing when you have a guy that's like can't miss, and he didn't attend the combine, and we could have drafted him and then figured out, like, maybe we trade a Juju or a Johnson or something like that, have that surplus requirement, try to get better somewhere else. Let's just hope this D-tackle's a beast. Powers. D-tackle, taking over for Tyson Alualu on that front 3. That's, a little bit veteran, so, he can learn a thing or two from Tuitt and Cam Hayward. J.C. Jackson, the league leader in interceptions, is coming back to a great secondary. I mean, just ignore our corner 3 and you'll be fine. I would say, really, for this rebuild, I would almost argue that, like, as important as Robbie Wood in year 3, like, really established himself and looking really good, I need TJ Watt to do something. For how much money we're paying him, he has not gone over, like, 7 sacks yet in 2 years. We need to see big-time numbers here from TJ Watt. Coming into the bye week in year 3, about mid-season, 3-3, not too far off the pace here for first place in the North. Gonna need a really strong, kind of finish to the year. Team's good. I mean, I would actually say I'm surprised at the overall totals. Like the 85 offense, 89 defense, 86 overall. Feels like our team's still a little bit of ways from being that good. Like that's a Super Bowl winning type squad. But let's look at some contracts here. We have Claypool. I mean, he's been good for us regardless, but my Canadian bias got to pull the trigger there, man. Big fan of Claypool. Highsmith, pretty much made the commitment to him. He's been outperforming TJ Watt. Trey Turner at guard, might as well just run him into the ground. Only a 1-year deal. Most likely he'd be the top right guard in free agency as well. We have Dotson, a little bit younger, a little bit easier to justify this. We'll get him for the rest of the rebuild here on a 2-year contract. Austin Jackson, same thing. He's been solid. Good, not great. I think you just look at the running back production and say, like, all right, well, at least this offensive line is doing something well. So we'll get him and Ben Barch brand new contracts. Rest of these guys can go pound sand. Something kind of cool, Alex Highsmith went up to a superstar dev trade after a big game in a losing effort against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But that's, again, just more so proof in pudding that he's playing better than TJ Watt for some reason. And full credit to the squad here in year 3. Finished the season strong. Bottom of a very competitive division, which is a little frustrating. 9-8. At least we're trending in the right direction. I think we won 3 of our last 4. I mean, we're 5-3. Not too long ago. Whatever, man. Team's good, though. The team is good. The rebuild, while the playoffs are not there yet, we still have 2 more years. The squad itself, the team that we're trying to compete with, 88s across the board. That is pretty damn good. Look at a big picture around the NFL. Drew Lock is the top passing leader. Nothing too crazy. I just, like, TJ Watt. He heard me. He heard me. I was pissed off. He said, you know what? I'm about to end this man's life and leak the lead in sacks. So thank you very much for that. Our quarterback, what? All right, I'll say this right now. Quarterback's back on the menu for the draft. That is not good. Not acceptable given the offense that we have. Najee Harris, outstanding. 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. We got 1,000 for Juju. 8-4 Johnson. 8-2 Freiermuth. 7-6 for Claypool. And Najee Harris just dominating like he always does. Defensively, Devin Bush, over 100 tackles. We got 18 sacks from TJ Watt. Thank you very much. Highsmith must have just had his big game. Well, I mean, go up superstar. You just need, you can get it for holding the team under whatever, 150 yards, something like that. That might have been what he did to achieve it. But I would say, I mean, we're paying TJ Watt to do that. He does that. Thank you very much. JC Jackson, 7 picks last year, only 1 this year. Don't really know the change. Guess you could only have 1 really good player on the sim defense. And this time the RNG decided it was going to be my edge rusher. Look at that big picture in the AFC. TJ Watt is Defensive Player of the Year. Absolutely need that after 2 very underwhelming seasons. And the rest of these, he is the best linebacker. But as a Superstar X Factor, I'm not really expecting any sort of dev traits. As we now go into the offseason and gear up for year 4, still looking for our first playoff victory. So at the end of year 3, playoffs go to the Kansas City Chiefs. There's your pretty much copy and paste Super Bowl. I'm just going to ignore that the Offensive Rookie of the Year was Darrell Brown, the wide receiver for the Bears. I'm also not going to look at his stats just to know what we're missing out on because, I got to. Oh my, how do we not draft that guy? Like, there needs to be a point, Ty, where it's like C4. Just get if you see a guy that can't miss, just get him. Even if you don't need him. That's a pretty good year. It's not amazing. It's not as crazy as I thought it could have been. But, you know, NFC North, you got Calvin Johnson 2.0. And you have, you only have Justin Fields, who's unbelievable in Madden, throwing it to him. Look at our squads for quick dev traits, some sort of silver lining as we go into the offseason. On the offensive side of the ball, not 1 dev trait. On the defensive side of the ball, we have not 1 dev trait. Fuck. But these free agencies suck. I'm like, all right, we got enough, $28 million. We could sign like 1 guy. And it's like, well, we have Vontae Maddox, who I passed on a couple years ago. Don't really need that. I mean, it's corner 3, but then like corner 3 is an obvious, like that's where we could spend our first premier draft pick on. This is, Jesus, man, nothing. Save our money again. Senators on a short leash. We sit here at pick 18. There's still an early first round quarterback. Gotta do it, man. Gotta do it. Oh, for fuck's sake. No dev trait? 77 normal, number 9 in true value. At least we got a break glass case of emergency. This, if the other Wood's not good, we got another quarterback. Our 3rd round pick, really good pick. Keith, I don't even need him. I mean, maybe, actually, but Freiermuth not really developing nicely. 75 hidden dev, number 14 in true value, getting him an 82. McLean, solid looking tight end, good athlete, good, more of a pass catcher than anything out of Boston College. Draft recap, just not a great, it's just not a great offseason, man. Drafted QB, probably not going to be better than the guy we already had. Got a 74 normal dev linebacker, 75 hidden dev tight end. Oh, I simmed out after this. And the computer actually hooked us up with a hidden dev running back. Nice. Good RB2. A little bit of a power back. Kind of fits what we're trying to do. But, I don't know. It's one of those things we haven't made the playoffs. Did we do enough this offseason to think we realistically have a chance at the playoffs? It's all just dependent on a quarterback play that hasn't been good at all. Or at least, not good at all, but hasn't been good enough. For year 4, I want to be like, we made enough changes to be, that guy. Be that guy of teams. I don't know, man. It's just this Wood guy needs to be good. Can't have barely more touchdowns and interceptions for this team to win. Would be nice for a wide receiver to get a dev trait here or there, maybe, right? Powers, the D tackle that we had. Star dev, no dev trait there, which is annoying. Ooh, we got another late hidden dev safety. Probably never going to stint the field. I don't know, man. Hopefully he's good enough. If not, I mean, we'll be setting ourselves up to just kind of do whatever we can year 5. But year 4, it's just this Wood guy. Take the next step, man. Take the next step. Prove you can be that guy. Man, coming up from the bye here in year 4, 5-2. Maybe, just maybe he's deciding to put it all together. We chirped TJ Watt. He got 18 sacks next season. We chirped our QB. Maybe he'll lead us to the playoffs. Look at our contracts here. These are the guys that we want for the 5th and final year. Absolutely want Najee Harris. Absolutely want JC Jackson. That's actually a lot of money. Should have gave him a 2-year contract. Stephon Tuitt, sure thing. Let's keep this D-line here together. Defense has been kind of hit or miss for the most part, but Let's get Cam Hayward there locked up. Frymouth, meh. Feel like, we definitely keep Presley Harvin here. Great thick boy punter for sure. Not really overly worried about anybody else. I think Trey Turner, replaceable potentially upgradable. You know, there could be like a Zach Martin or something like that in free agency. We have the hidden dev tight end, so Frymouth, who's been kind of underwhelming, is what it is. Probably could get an upgrade at middle linebacker over Schobert. If not, just bring him back once you hit the open market. So let's make sure we can retain J.C. Jackson. Actually, I'm going to probably give him like a 2 or 3 year contract just to lessen the cap hit this offseason. So, yeah, good business here from the Steelers. And to close out year 4, we actually made the playoffs. 12-5. We did lose 3 of our last 4, which is kind of weird. It's always like we either won 3 of our last 4 or we lost 3 of our last 4. We almost choked it. And like no shenanigans. I always feel like when you have 3 just stinker years and then out of nowhere you have a good year, just, you know, let's just show it. This is our team actually put together. Look at that win streak. And then, yeah, actually we lost 2 of our last 3, sorry. Felt like I was like, oh, man. That could have been the decider there for a first-round bye. Quickly look at the stats around the league. We got 25 touchdowns for Joe Mixon. Sure. Much ado with 21 sacks. Is what it is. What happened? Like, who was it? The QB? Did we just Najee Harris to say fuck this? We're gonna be okay. No, the quarterback played good. 3,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, 4 picks. All it took was us putting that pressure on him, bringing in, spending that first-round draft pick on a QB. Yeah, a little bit of that like RG3 Kirk Cousins dynamic, and Robbie Wood might have played himself into a dev trade upgrade with that kind of season. 1,700 yards, 14 touchdowns. Najee Harris, outstanding. No dominant receiver. Which, you know, is what it is. Actually, pretty good numbers there from the tight end, Keith McLean. Superstar F. Let's go. Okay. Getting a little bit of juice there on the offense side. Well, I think that's our first superstar tight end. I can't even remember the last time I did get a superstar tight end. Cool. Defensively, Devin Bush on the team. 103 tackles, second half, 3 interceptions, 15.5 sacks, TJ Watt, 12.5 to it, 8.5 Highsmith, 7 for the veteran Cam Hayward. Happy with those sack numbers. Interceptions, 4 for J.C. Jackson, 3 for Devin Bush, 2 for Baxter. Acceptable. This is our first year that our team's actually kind of playing up to that rating. What are we at? 88, something like that. Across the board. Najee Harris, number 6 for the MVP race in the AFC. What do we got here? Probably no award winners, I don't think. I wouldn't guess. TJ Watt is the best linebacker. So he just started out slow last 2 years, playing like the guy that got paid $100 million. And we have at least made the playoffs, and we take on our divisional rival, Cincinnati Bengals, 10-7. Let's go. Are we worried about what Cincinnati can bring? No, not really. Especially it's in the snow. They got the finesse. They're more of a finesse team, I think, than we are. You know, Joe Burrow probably not gonna like playing in the snow. So let's go. We got 7-7. We got Scrambler and Wood. Scrambling quarterbacks always difficult to stop in the snow. Put you on skates. Come on, field goal. 10-10. And they go in and get the instant touchdown before halftime, and then a field goal. So back-to-back scores there. We do kick the field. Man, we're just kicking way too many field goals. That's point-blank period. But we got a 7-point game. Everything to play for here. Oh, we tied up 27. Defense needs to make a stop. They hold to a field goal. 2:31 to go down the field and do our own damage. But did we score too quickly? A minute 35 here. They go for it on 4th down. They do not. It's a turnover. Going on here, and we do win. I don't really know how that game ended, but we won. 91 yards, Najee Harris. Quarterback, Robbie Wood, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, clean game, out-dueling Joe Burrow. And our first playoff victory, year 4. Good. We're 1-0. We're undefeated when we make the playoffs. All right, this one's always fun. In the second round of the playoffs, in the AFC divisional round, we got at home, actually. Okay, it's snowing again, still a blizzard in the state of Pennsylvania. You don't even know who we're taking on yet. Well, you probably should guess. Hey, guess. We're taking on an AFC team. You already know right now. It's either the Browns or the Chiefs in your head. And if you thought that, you're probably right. Can we see it? Who are we taking on? Come on, show it. Show it. All right, come on. Camera time. This guy. Wood. Too much. They're just not showing it. We're taking on the Chiefs. God bless America. We're gonna need America to bless us to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, I think. But it's a snow game. Again, kind of like the Cincinnati one. They're more of a finesse team, maybe. That works well in our advantage. We haven't crossed midfield yet, so it's definitely not working into our advantage. Haven't crossed midfield yet. Oh, finally crossed midfield yet. Late in the 3rd. Let's go. Oh, we have 9 points. We got some CFL scoring or something going on here. Just, yeah, whatever, man. That was going to be a rough one, but we now know, right? We now know we have a squad and a quarterback that is capable of leading us to the playoffs. Let's get a little bit buck wild with our free agency bucks. Try to do enough to get that. I mean, both quarterbacks did fuck all today, but the Chiefs were just able to score because they're the Chiefs, and we got to go back to the drawing board for year 5. Recap from the season, is it really a silver lining? Like, I don't know, when you guys do your rebuilds, if the team that beats you went on to win the Super Bowl, does it sting a little less? I don't really know. I don't know if I'm going to buy into that. But looking at our squad, do we have any dev trade increases? Well, we found out that our rookie tight end, hidden dev, was a superstar. So that's a win for the offense. Finally, have something that got upgraded. Defensively, J.C. Jackson is a superstar X Factor. Cool. What do we got? Ball hawk? Universal coverage. What's that ability? Guaranteed knockouts. Cool. So for the final free agency spot, had to make not a tough decision. Like, we don't need a wide receiver, so that pretty much eliminates, Waddle, like some of the top guys. Aaron Donald, we still got Cam Hayward. Bakhtiari was the only one I was thinking of, but maybe it's just me sticking to the trade that I made initially with Jackson, especially if we win a Super Bowl with those trades, with those guys still playing. I don't even know if we can afford, obviously, Bakhtiari at this point. So here are our contracts, though. Brendan Schriff at right guard. We have Byron Jones as our third corner. He actually would be more so an outside guy. And then we got right guard at fullback. 7 at fullback. Some teams just sim better with the fullback. So know that these are our only contracts. Really, the big one here is Schriff, so we're just going to give him an ungodly amount of money so that there's no way he doesn't come, because he's really the big fish that we need to land. Nice. Able to land all of our targets. Let's go. As you can see now, 91 offense, 90 defense, 90 overall. That you should be able to walk into the playoffs. No injuries on. Injuries aren't on. That's walking into the Super Bowl. Almost. All right, let's bring it to you live. The final draft, it's always just try to make like the biggest head pick we can make. Let's try to get the best player available. What do we got? Otis Schobert, early first round running back. Could use actually an RB2, at least that might have some upside to him. Wasn't a great draft though when I was scouting. At least for where we were picking. 7-7 combined right here for the defensive end, late first rounder. Yeah, not so much what we're looking for. Mid first round, Haywood, Wilkinson, early first round D tackle. That's probably gonna be the money pick. Maybe we could slide one of these guys into middle linebacker, except yeah, he's not really a scheme for middle linebacker. What about this guy? There's our pick, because we debatably, what's this fourth rounder? Graves looks good, but we have Harbor. Why don't we get both? Nah, screw. We'll grab Graves. 78, normal dev, number 3 in true value, getting him at the end of the first round. Let's go. Literally the one spot we can upgrade is middle linebacker. So let's just grab this other guy. Maybe he has a dev trade. He probably does, which he does. Jaden Harbor, 77, hidden dev, number 4 in true value. The very rare 5th draft, getting a starter that can contribute for the Super Bowl or bust season. Let's go. Year 5. Proof is in the pudding. This is what we got. This is our final squad. In terms of what we've brought in, changes, differences. Well, we have Brendan Schriff now at right guard. Got that superstar dev tight end that we drafted last year. Right guard in at fullback. Obviously, Najee 1 point away from being a member of the 99 club. Skill position guys, rest of the O-line's been, plug and play since the beginning of the rebuild. But this guy, Robbie Wood, had our doubts. Had to draft another first-round quarterback. But last season, absolutely balled. 37 touchdowns, I think it was. 4 picks, something like that. He's good. Need that again this year. Can't have a regression. Can't have him having 22 touchdowns, 14 picks, something stupid like that. Defensively, well, we got Cam Hayward, Old Man Hayward and Tuitt still doing the damn thing. You got J.C. Jackson, Superstar X Factor. I suppose we probably could have got a third corner, now that I think about it. We're going to take Harbor. We're going to move him up the depth chart here. He's going to be a starter with Devin Bush, Highsmith, T.J. Watt's been dominating. This is like a 12-win team. 12-win team minimum. AFC Championship minimum. That's what I got here for year 5. All right, well, first prediction was kind of right. Objective, 12 wins. Finished 12-5. 3-way tie at 12-5 at the top of the AFC North. I don't think we have an AFC North title. Hey, did we get it last year? Hard to come by, man. It's a super tough division. Kind of knew that coming into this. Stats, quickly. 50 touchdowns, Mahomes. Good God. 23 touchdowns, Josh Jacobs. Good God. TJ Watt, 22 sacks. Let's go. Look at the rest of the stats here real quick. Just breeze right through them. Wood, whatever you want to call them. Okay, acceptable year. Like, that's as bad as I would have wanted to see. 4,400 yards, 32 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns. Najee Harris to go with 700 receiving yards. Pretty disgusting. 8-8 Claypool, 8-4 Juju, 1,010 Deante Johnson. Defensively, 129 tackles. Devin Bush, one hell of a year. TJ Watt, 93 tackles, 16 TFLs, 22.5 sacks. Good night. 4 picks. Minka, happy seeing that. I think we might have Defensive Player of the Year here in TJ Watt. Josh Jacobs was the MVP. I don't think we had anything there. In the AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Josh Jacobs. Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt. Let's go. For the rest of the awards, just quickly looking through it, probably just TJ Watt at linebacker, which we did get. And now it is time to try to go on this playoff run. First up, Mac Jones and the 11-6 New England Patriots. Let's just see what they got for their X factors and stuff like that. Who's developed? Who have they signed? Have they found some diamonds in the rough in the draft? Look at the Patriots. They have Cole Holcomb, formerly of Football Team, as their X factor. Trent Brown, Kyle Duggar, and Chase Vinovich as their superstars. Very winnable game on paper. Let's go. You know what we do. Play the moments. How many moments we play depends on how bad the sim is going to disrespect our team that is firmly better than the New England Patriots. It's a snow game. I guess all we do is play playoff games in the snow, be it in Pittsburgh or New England. Starting to fall a little bit high, so we'll come right in here. I didn't like the way that was going. They're starting to get some momentum. 3rd and 10. Let's get, well, where's Claypool at? And I actually will say, even though someone has to be a light jersey in the snow games, it's always the other team. So I like the fact that we have the white jerseys here. It's our time. Let's go. Just scramble. Just scramble. You got wheels, man. He has like 90-some acceleration or something stupid like that. 15 yards for Wood. Move the chains. Get into the red zone. Score the touchdown. Tied up at 14. 2-minute drill ends up somehow biting us in the ass, but we're able to get on the field tied up at 21. High-scoring game. Neither defense really lock it up. We do settle for a field goal. A little bit worried with that because it seems like they're only scoring touchdowns. But we get the defensive stop. We score another touchdown. 10-point lead. Turnover from Mac Jones. Have to settle for a field goal there. Probably should have came in. Next 3rd down I will, which I will. We got 3rd and 6. Let's get a 1st down here. Let's ice this one. Any scoring would be fairly good, but a touchdown, 1st down, kill the clock. That's more what I'm looking at. Let's scramble with this QB again. We have the superstar tight end McLean. What is that, buddy? Get the touchdown. Turn upfield. Why did he turn the complete opposite direction of where he needed to? I don't know, but we were able to get the touchdown there. New England get the garbage time score, which makes the game look a little bit closer than what it was. 4 touchdowns for Mac Jones. Our defense almost choked it, but we get the victory, 40-35. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Hey, they're only 1 point better offense than us. We can win this. And I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. You play a rebuild as an AFC team, you're gonna find the Chiefs. All right? They're gonna find their way in the playoffs if you want to try to win. Just something that you got to conquer. We're starting out fairly good. 3rd down, I think they need our help here a little bit. Need a little bit of momentum. Need a big play, big splash play. Let's go Najee. We know how to use him from pink slips. It's not the same type running back that we have in pink slips. But we'll run right into Chris Jones here and hopefully be able to move the chains, which we did. Great blocking by the wide receivers downfield. We run a dude over and get a nice gainer there. But a lot of Najee Harris. He's on pace for well over 100 yards this game. Like to see, I don't really know that's the strategy, though, to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, in a way, if you can run the ball, kind of keep Mahomes off the field, that's a good strategy. But in the idea of, like, this game's going to be a shootout, that's a good touchdown. And again, this is going to be a shootout. Probably just need to be throwing it with them. Because, if you're running the ball and you're just, old school trying to chip away at it, things might not go your way. So we get another opportunity here. 3rd and 5. What are these routes? Okay, Juju looks pretty good. Got to watch back there, though. They're the best players. No. Woo! Holy. Defensive, I think was that Honey Badger on the blitz? Able to connect with the tight end. Another 3rd down. I tried to give my team the benefit of the doubt that they could fucking get a 3rd down conversion there. They couldn't, but they do there. Touchdown. My oh my, do the Steelers love giving up 2-minute drill offense points before the end of the first half. I think every sim so far, we've given up something when we score and there's like 30 seconds left. Before halftime, need a touchdown here. Doesn't have to be all in one play. Let's just get the first down, man. 3rd and 4. Don't worry about it. Frank Clark runs us out. Another 3rd down. We're pretty much going to be playing all these 3rd downs. We're in 4-down territory, I think. I would hate to settle for a field goal. You pretty much can't settle for field goals. Sideline. Oh, that's a hell of a pass break up there. What are they doing? 4th down. Are we going for it? 51-yard field. I think we got to go for it. You guys think comments? Retroactively, I think most people would go for it here. You have a scrambler quarterback. We just go to Najee. I thought I was going to mess that one up too. I thought for sure I just messed up my read. I was looking the wrong direction, but luckily no one was on Najee Harris. Into the red zone, and why? Just get the touchdown for once. It's always 3rd and something with this team. It's always something with this team. Can we extend? That's going to be close. That is going to be 4th and 1. Let's run it. We're going to run it. Najee. I don't want to do the toss. I want to kind of go up in the middle here. Go right behind 75. We just paid all of our big money to bring in Brendan Schriff. That looks good, man. Move the chains. Right behind Brendan Schriff. Over 100 yards for Najee Harris. Oh, they actually score the touchdown without me having to do something. We hold them to a field goal. Now it's our turn. What do we got? 3rd and 6. Let's throw it. Head of the 2-minute warning. We'll have Juju run a streak. We don't have speed. That's an issue here with this squad. But the tight end, the superstar tight end, big fan. Big fan. He's winning. He's getting open a lot. Moves the chains. Look, my cat here. He's had enough of this rebuild. He's out. Are you saying that I'm losing, bud? You saying that I'm losing? What is this field goal? 4th and 19. All right. Oh, there we go. Again, settle for a field goal. They're probably going to march down the field and score. But it was 4th and 19, right? What are you going to do? Bank on your defense to do something. Okay. No timeouts. Don't know what my quarterback has in terms of a cannon here. That's all on the line. We'll have another chance there. That's 100% on the line. Oh, it actually didn't give it to me? All right, fuck me then. That was on the line. That couldn't be any more. Like, do I have a replay of that? His foot was on the line. Did I get the ball back? His foot was on the line. I'm going to... Foot's not there. Interception. Fuck this game. Fuck this game, man. Sway she goes. Steelers rebuild in the books. Another failed. I'm at this point, I'm not saying I'm checked out. But behind the scenes, I'm just working on the draft class. I just want to get in realistic rebuilds. I want to be drafting real players. I want to have that immersion. That's kind of my bread and butter. Still probably, I want to do, I'm not doing it until I can have 2 draft classes done. Right now, I am I'm halfway done the defensive players for the 2022 draft class. I don't know if the Madden share is working. They're supposedly acknowledged that there should be a fix for the Madden share. But I'm not going to do realistic rebuilds with just 1 draft class. I want 2. So hopefully, I would say... I'm going to probably beat the scouting update for those to start dropping on the channel, but just to know, it's one of those things too. It's anytime we do an AFC rebuild, we know that the Chiefs are going to be fucking super hard to beat, and we ran into the Chiefs. I'm not super upset. I'm not triggered. I'm not salty C4. I'm not this Madden game's the worst of all time and stuff. That interception was bullshit, but you gotta lose to the Chiefs probably more often than not. No matter what squad you're looking like. It's the final boss, and sometimes you run into that final boss before the Super Bowl, And it just makes it that much more rewarding when we can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But that'll do it for this rebuild, guys. Let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see next. I will say maybe we pick an NFC team so we don't have to play the Chiefs until it is the Super Bowl. But let me know in the comment section below what you want to see there. And that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, leave a comment. Helps with my videos in the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you guys back on the next one. Thank you very much. Peace out.